Welcome to the Realm. I'm Scott Schemmel from Sports Realm, and this is a Sports Realm podcast. I'm here with my two co-hosts, Severin Mull and Max DeCoux. Today's episode is on the NFL Draft. We're going to be discussing the first 5 picks, as well as any possible trades that may be happening and that have already happened. So let's start by talking about some of those trades. Severin, take us off with the 49ers trading up to the 3rd spot and explain the details of that trade.
Yeah, so with the Niners, they went from 12 to 3, the first big splash of NFL draft hype. And we all know who they're going for. They're going for a quarterback. Nobody gives up 3 first-round picks and a 3rd rounder just to get a O-lineman, because quarterbacks affect the game more than any other position. And it's obvious that they're not comfortable with Jimmy Garoppolo long term.
Yeah.
And so the Dolphins, they got an opportunity. It's not even their own pick. It's a pick they basically stole from Houston. Mm-hmm. They get so much draft capital out of that trade, and they look like huge winners here. They go back to 12. But with the Niners, you have to be really happy with what they have. And then with the Dolphins, what they did, they went from 12, and they used a first-round pick and obviously the 12th pick to move up to 6 with the Eagles. Yeah. So essentially, the Dolphins get a first-round pick out of dropping from 3 to 6, and they're looking really good as big. Yeah. They're showing they have faith in Tua. They might have wanted Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence, but it's looking like they won't be able to get him. So number 6 and number 12 picks being swapped, the Dolphins were able to secure and still be in the top 6, where a lot of fantastic O-linemen and skill position players are up there high in the draft. And the Eagles, they show faith in Jalen Hurts by falling back.
So Max, what do you think about this trade?
I think that most teams, everybody here benefits from this trade. The Dolphins get to continue to build for their future, as well as the 49ers get to go out and get the guy that they want. Yeah. Because I'm assuming that it's not going to be either Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson, because those two are all but locked for the top 2 picks in this draft. Yeah. So I personally think that they're going to go and take the shot and draft Mac Jones. They're going to hope that he's going to be the guy for their future. And I think that they decided that, and they said, hey, we can trade up. Might be worth a little bit of our draft capital, but we want to start winning. We need to keep this winning culture that we have, and they want to take Mac Jones and build on that.
Well, so I'll give my take on the trade. I think it's a good deal for the 49ers and for Miami. I feel like it's just good for everyone involved. They all considered it heavily, but I think that the 49ers are going to take Justin Fields from Ohio State, because he had a terrific year. I mean, everyone was amazed by him this year, and I know you were, Max, especially. So I'm surprised you didn't pick him. But I mean, a lot of people are thinking about considering trading up for him, like the Panthers were considering that. A lot of teams were, but I think that the 49ers have moved up because they want him. So I think that's the option. They're going to go with him. I think it's the best option for them. Severin, what do you think?
Yeah, number 3 pick. I mean, it's been a common theme throughout the NFL. We all know how valuable quarterbacks are. So it's, if you find your guy, you go out and you get your guy.
Yep.
And at this point, I don't think Kyle Shanahan cares how many future draft picks he gives up. He obviously has his eye on someone that he thinks is worth all that and can be a franchise cornerstone, franchise player. The person I would think is Trey Lance in this situation, because he fits so many prototypes. I mean, I'm sure Kyle Shanahan will have no problem drafting someone that's not as big as Trey Lance, like a Justin Fields, or someone who's not as athletic like Mac Jones, and be able to incorporate them in the offensive scheme. But to me, Trey Lance checks so many boxes. In his only season where he started all the games except for his one game showcase this past season, which was cut short due to COVID. But in the one season that he did start at North Dakota State, he threw 28 touchdowns, 0 picks, ran for 1,100 yards. He looked magnificent. Yes, it was low competition, but he checked all the boxes. He's athletic, and he fills all those prototypes, and he put up the numbers to prove it. Albeit in a weak conference, but to me, he's someone that some people would say he's raw just because he's so physically gifted, but he hasn't really had a chance to play against elite level defenses like the other prospects in this draft. But with Jimmy Garoppolo, you have the ability to let him wait and be able to sit behind him and learn how to break down an NFL defense. And I think just someone like him, he seems like he's an awesome talent. And you trade up all the way to number 3 pick to get him and make sure that the Niners have a staple. And they might let Jimmy Garoppolo go, as Trey Lance is going to look very valuable with a rookie scale contract and be able to build around him and hopefully get a Super Bowl soon.
Yeah. So I want to ask both of you guys this. Do you think that it was worth it, like Kyle Shanahan trading up and trading that many picks to go get someone? You think that Garoppolo should have been given another chance? Max, I'll start with you.
I mean, it was obvious that Garoppolo wasn't in the long-term future for the 49ers. So I think with them trading up, I think they decided to just solidify their plans and start moving towards the future.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be happy with their decision.
Yeah, with going to the Super Bowl, losing to Patrick Mahomes, they have a core and a nucleus that they think is capable of winning. They were decimated by injuries last year, but I guess they want to be able to add on to it by using that rookie scale contract with Trey Lance. And I guess they're just not sold on Garoppolo. They think that's the reason why they couldn't get over the hump. And so, I'm on the mindset of if you think you need that guy to get that Super Bowl, it's all about collecting rings. So if you think making that trade will hurt you in the long term, not being able to fill out your roster, but you get a Super Bowl out of it, yes. But it's still hard to tell. They have to hit on the quarterback for it to be worth it.
Yeah, I think personally, I would have probably given Jimmy Garoppolo another try or another like 1 or 2 seasons just to see, because trading up that quick, you're definitely not going to be having him as your guy this year. So I'm not sure. I think I just would have given him another chance. But I mean that's all up in the air. Who knows? I might be wrong, but I guess we'll see this year. So we talked about Miami is trading up to the 6th pick. Philadelphia is moving back to the 12th pick. What do you guys think about Philly moving back to 12?
With Philly moving back to 12, like I said before, it's showing that they have faith in Jalen Hurts, because at number 6, there are really 5 quarterbacks that are really coveted in this draft. And at number 6 with the Bengals at number 5, they have Joe Burrows. You know they're not taking a quarterback. So they had a chance to grab one of those 5 quarterbacks. Either they're not really sold on the 5th quarterback they think, they're not really sold on the bottom of that tier, or they're just really looking forward to building with Jalen Hurts and really build around with that core. And you get to round out the roster around him and still possibly get a really nice piece at number 12.
All right, so I want to know, with the 6th pick, Miami, who do you guys think? I'm going to start. So I'll say Jalen Waddle. And I think that's the main reason that they did trade up. And that's the whole reason they traded up, is because they want to get someone that can work with Tua. And I mean, that's what I think they're going to do. Severin, what do you think?
Yeah, going to 6, it's clear they weren't settled with 12. They want to go up to 6. They like a prospect. I mean, so it seems like outside of the quarterbacks, they wouldn't trade back if they didn't want their quarterback. They would have kept there. So it doesn't seem like they want a quarterback. But there's Penei Sewell is an outstanding offensive tackle. But I think they want to go for a skill position, get Tua, that go-to guy. Yeah. And to me, if Kyle Pitts is available, you take him, because he's a matchup nightmare, and he seems like a guy that's just, he's going to be able to contribute right away for Tua and be able to grow with him immediately. But I'm not sure that he'll be there, because Bengals might be thinking the same thing for Joe Burrows. So I think if Kyle Pitts isn't there, I would take Devontae Smith. Kind of the same logic you had with Jalen Waddle. Get him a weapon that he can go to and rely on to get open and make plays. And they both obviously won a lot of games with Tua, and they already had chemistry they established in college.
Yeah, it's like what you said earlier. It's like for you to make a trade where you want to trade up like that, you probably wanted to get something specific. That's the only reason I think that they want that Alabama connection from either like Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle, like I said. But like you said with Penei Sewell, I'm not sure that he would be there for 6, because I know that like Atlanta and Cincinnati would both be looking for him. So that'll be interesting to see how that all works out. But Max, who do you think? Who do you have with the Dolphins taking with the 6th pick?
Yeah, I don't see them. I mean, I do see Penei Sewell either going to the Falcons, and if he drops past the Falcons, I definitely see him going to the Bengals, because the Bengals had the desperate need of an offensive line, and he would definitely come help fill at least some of the hole that's there. So I do see the Dolphins picking up one of the skill positions in either one of the Bama wide receivers or Kyle Pitts.
And then I just want to mention Jamar Chase is also an outstanding receiver.
Outstanding.
I just seem to be going for the Alabama, but they could very well take Jamar Chase, because he's an outstanding prospect and he would do well with him.
All right, so this draft was full of QB mania, and that's what we saw a lot about. So Severin, do you think? So we know the first and second picks are pretty much locked up.
So somewhat, yeah. Number one is, I mean, everybody's saying locked. It would completely shock the world if it wasn't Trevor Lawrence. Number two, the Jets, they're not saying anything. I mean, they could say, hey, we like Trey Lance and what we think he can become. But yeah, Zach Wilson seems to be the guy. And I mean, I think a lot of Jets fans, including myself, are starting to watch his highlights and get excited.
You want Zach Wilson or Trey Lance? You as a Jets fan?
I would be happy with either. Mm-hmm. I mean, if either quarterback comes, I'm gonna be glad. I'm playing with them in Madden, making them go crazy.
Franchise.
I'm just happy. I'm hoping we're getting a franchise quarterback. Mm-hmm. I mean, Sam Darnold is looking like his future is not going to be. I mean, he might start out the year, but it's looking like he's not the long-term plan.
Yeah, well, this is one of the drafts where we're going to be seeing a lot of those guys that it's just QB filled and it's going to be crazy. But if we had to get a quick top 6 picks before we wrap it up, Severin, who do you have?
Oh, the top 6, number 1, I will go Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. Number 2, it seems to be Zach Wilson. Then, like I said, number 3, Trey Lance with the tools that he has. Number 4, the Falcons, I would go Justin Fields, getting to learn behind Matt Ryan. I mean, they haven't had a lot of. I mean, we all know they're known as choke artists in this league right now. So I guess getting a new face to your franchise will kind of help break that mold. And then when you go to number 5, I like Kyle Pitts with Joe Burrows. I'd also think offensive tackle would serve him really well. It's whatever you want. Do you want the deadly matchup or do you want shorter protection? And then number 6, like I said, I would go Devontae Smith to pair with 2.
All right. So Max, get us a quick 1 through 6.
All right. So 1, 2, gotta have Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. 3, I think I'll take Mac Jones going to the 49ers. With the 4th pick, I can see a Justin Fields going and learning behind Matt Ryan. 5th pick, I definitely think the Bengals need to draft someone of Penei Sewell's caliber as an offensive lineman. And then for 6, I'll say they'll take Waddle, just for the Alabama connection, and they need an offensive threat to go with Tua.
Okay, well my 1 through 6 is obviously 1 is Trevor Lawrence, 2 is Zach Wilson, 3 I said Justin Fields. Let's see, 4 I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I wasn't sure. I was going back between Penei and Patrick Surtain, but I'm going with Patrick Surtain. He's a corner, very solid corner. They struggle with that all year. So I'm gonna go with him. With the 5th pick, like Max said, Penei Sewell with Cincinnati. That's the biggest thing they need. If he's there, they will pick him, no doubt. And then Miami, I agree with Max, which is Jalen Waddle. So that's it. We're just going to wrap that up. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and this is available anywhere you get your podcasts. Max?
Sports Room out.